Hello and welcome to this Soul Healing with Bree collective oracle reading where we're going to play with some oracle cards. We're going to maybe get some messages from our spiritual guidance team. And we're going to... Interesting. This is a new thing my guides are doing where they tell me in my consciousness through my clairaudience something that they didn't tell me before, which is they're telling me at the end of this transmission, okay, we're going to be doing a Q&A. So my guidance to you before sitting with this transmission would be to have a notebook or just something to write on, because if the question, this is what they're showing me, the question is such juiciness. When we have a question that let's say we're coming across the question while we're in the midst of an aha. Those questions are gold, baby. They are gold, 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 gold. So if you've ever found yourself going to healers or readers or energy healers, channelers, whatever, and you feel like you know they're going to have a Q, this has happened to me so many times before, so this is comical, but if you ever sense within yourself like, oh wait, I don't have any questions, okay? But then all of a sudden, in the midst of the transmission, a question arises from within you. Those questions are gold. So if that happens during this transmission, I would really encourage you to write those questions down. You might even feel at the end of the transmission not to ask me these, okay? Because you might write the question down, and then as we're moving along through the reading, you get an answer to your question. My guides are showing me right now that if you do this, if you write down that question in the middle of the transmission, let's say, they're saying, we'll see it. They're saying, we'll see it. So basically what happens is whatever you're working through live time in these sessions, our guides are working together. So if let's say you're a guardian angel, everyone has a guardian angel. I just want to lay this down. Everyone. You as a soul would not, like I'm saying this for real, you would not be willing to come to planet Earth alone. Okay? A lot of us question this. What? How did I know all of this before going into this incarnation and still did it? You know, some of you have had tumultuous lives. Tough things have happened to you, and you're wondering, how did I put myself in this? Well, you didn't put yourself in this alone. Okay? You didn't put yourself in this alone. Okay, so I'm working with 2 decks today. The Lemurian Starchild Oracle by Leanne Carpenter and Michael Kroon, and of course, as I'm going through this, if you want to chat amongst yourselves, that's okay. I'm not going to take any questions till the end. Of course, what I just said means that you could write the question down and I will answer it, and we won't ever have to have a little conscious conversation about it. It'll just get on and done. But we have the Archangel Animal Oracle. It's Diana Cooper and Marjolaine Kruscht. I also want to share, this is a session that is very conscious. So some of our sessions, we go super deep. We do trance channeling. All that stuff. We don't necessarily need that today, is what my guides are telling me. They're saying we don't necessarily need that today. Everything that was necessary, let's see, they're giving me something right now. They're saying everything that we wanted to communicate to humanity was communicated through Bree, me, yesterday. So that transmission, a lot's coming in. A lot's coming into this conscious channel. But that transmission would be where I would guide you to. It's on my YouTube for free, commercial free too. I hope that you all can realize, I know I have a lot of regulars here. I hope you can all realize that I really am coming here with curiosity, with an open, pure heart, and with they want me to talk about my desires, okay? I'm going to put this up while I talk about desires. This is my desire for you. I want you all to be able to come to this space and feel a few different sentiments. I want you to come to this space and feel a refreshment of that you're safe to be yourself. I want you all to come to this space and feel more prominently, maybe more powerfully, your purpose, your dharma, the actual soulful reason that you're here. So my intention is that whenever you do sit in this space, you are getting to know yourself so much deeper. You are getting to know your soul so much deeper. And it's a comfortable familiarity. It's a comfortable memory of who you truly are. That's my intention. So if anyone has ever wondered, why does Bree show up? I want to show up to help you all be your brightest light. I want to show up to help you all embody your divine soul blueprint. Because the way that we make this shift into unity consciousness and the way that we ascend is together. And through each of us individually going within our chakra system, switching everything back on, clearing out the clutter, detangling. Sometimes it's detangling. Sometimes it's like your third eye and your solar plexus, they got beef. They got beef, okay? Sometimes they're not getting along and there's some tangles. Well, when you come sit in this space, your guides are working, if you consent to it, they're working in your field to smooth everything out. So you can just get back on down to your inner being and just be that. And thank you for the gifts. Okay, so this was one of the cards. Half the cards popped out face up, and then half the cards popped out face down. I did all my card pulling before we got into the session. So this was the first one that flipped face up, and it's the Divine Soul Blueprint, Source Self-Embodiment, Inspiration, You Are Ready. This is you just full-blown embodying your soul. When you have this active, no more confusion, no more friction, no more separation consciousness, no more me versus them, bad versus good, duality consciousness, all that kind of goes out the window when you lock in your Divine Soul Blueprint. And then Well of Dreams. Dreams are amping up. Dreams are amping up, and they are not willy-nilly. Yes, it's a space that you go and you work through subconscious fears, for sure. Part of that's going on. But it's even beyond that. When you're in your dream state, your mission is anchoring. Believe it or not. So that time that you go and you lay down and your eyes are shut and you're sleeping, you're serving. You're serving in the dream realms. And let me tell you, sometimes it's easier to serve in the dream realms than the conscious physical realms. So a lot of your work that you're doing as light workers, as healers, as way showers, as change makers, as those of you that really believe in the statement from Gandhi of be the change, a lot of this that you're doing to shift Earth, to help people feel really just safe to be embodied and safe to feel love, safe to give love, safe to receive love, safe to give compassion, safe to receive compassion. helping people with acceptance. A lot of this is stuff that you are doing, believe it or not, for yourself and for others in your dream time. So that was the message here. Then looked what popped out. Surprise, surprise. We have the Swan card, which I was like, oh my gosh, this is just too much. This is too spot on right now. Demonstrate grace and majesty. It's Archangel Bokpi. So what I'm receiving right now from the Swan comet. Oh geez, okay. What I'm receiving is that yesterday during the transmission, when I was trans-channeling for the December energy update, I remember right now, they showed me 3i Atlas and C2025 R2 Swan, and they showed me how, I'm going to just reiterate it a little bit here, that 3i Atlas is like sending in all of these really, really high frequency codes through the plasma and solar wind. Really high frequency codes, recalibrating our bodies, our minds, our vessels, the planet, all the planets, okay? And then Swan, they showed me, was acting as an absorber. They showed me that it's kind of like, it reminded me of like this microphone piece. It's acting as this absorber to absorb and transmute all of what it feels like to me is trauma timelines. I'm hearing trauma timelines. I'm hearing end time timelines. Interesting. I'm hearing war timelines. I'm also hearing false timelines. Let's see. Oh, I'm getting a lot of information now. Interesting. So what I'm seeing is that this is clearing up. Wow, this is really weird. I've never seen it like this before. What they're showing me is that people that have tried to meddle with time, they're showing me like time machines. They're showing me that's being cleared up right now. So basically if someone, this is so funny. They're like showing me if someone like decided to meddle with time. They wouldn't create, if they tried to do this, they would create very impermanent and very weak timelines. So it would be actual physical existence in timelines, but ones that are like my hair is like super split endy. It would be like the ends of my hair. Like it would be, that's funny, very unstable. So if someone tried to mess with time, go time travel and change everything up, they'd only be creating very, very super breakable, super damaged timelines. And they're showing me that 3i Atlas and the Swan Comet are clearing a lot of that out. Clearing a lot of that out. That's powerful. That actually really, really makes sense of things I've been feeling personally. So, along with this message, if you feel in this next, these objects are going to be here for another few months. Swan will leave sooner than 3i Atlas. But if you feel all of this, let's say memory waking up and it's memory that you're like, whoa, I don't want to feel this. I don't want to go back there. That's really hard. A lot of you are remembering Atlantis in particular. You're remembering the end of Atlantis in particular. And if I'm boring you, then just leave the space. It's really silly to say something like that. Piss taker. I'm excited, though, to block someone else that's being a jackass. Bye-bye. Also, this person's name is Fred Mason 26, just in case he's doing this to anyone else. You might be really benefited to block Fred Mason 26. who has no bio and is harassing people. Okay, so let me see if I get anything else from this. I can't believe the end of Atlantis would bore anyone. That's like shocking to me. But, you know, people are people. So that's what I'm receiving about these two interstellar objects, is they're clearing out a lot. So if you feel like heavy emotion in this next few months, up until about March-ish, this is what I would guide you to do. Drop within your heart. Call in your guides first. So call in your guides, drop within your heart, and ask, is this something I'm clearing? Ask yourself that. Because that's what a lot of this is going to be. And if you feel like you ask that question and it's a no, it's just something that you're processing from this here and now life, then feel the feelings, move through them. But it would be good for a lot of you, I'm feeling, to know when you're moving through soul memory so that you can actually know what's going on, what's taking place for you. And then Sacred Mountain was the last one that popped up. A lot is clearing right now. A lot is clearing right now. So we're best served to just let it. Vision Quest, Clarity and Truth, Shambhala, and Deep Healing. And now I'm excited to get into the cards. I don't know what they are. Yeah, just allow it. We got to allow this stuff. It helps to know a little bit. It helps for us to know, okay, my soul is an infinite being. Okay? That's big thing we want to land right here. Let's remember this here together. My soul is eternal. I'm working with the Lemurian Star Child Oracle by Leanne Carpenter and Michael Kroon. And then I feel like light language is probably going to want to come through, so I'll be doing that. So yes, it's the Lemurian Star Child Oracle for the Sacred Mountain one. And then the animals are Archangel Animal by Diana Carpenter and Marjolaine Cruchten. I'm seeing like some fine tuning going on right now in the fields as I'm bringing in this light language. I'm just going to allow it. This feels like the Arcturians. Feels like the Andromedans a little bit too. Okay, let's get to the cards. Fire and water. So number 2, stillness amidst turmoil, feel, and emotional integration. So thank you. This is a very good card to summarize at least a portion of the transmission that they trans-channeled through me yesterday, the Akashic Records guides and the Pleiadian and Arcturian emissaries. There's going to be a lot of people on the earth feeling a lot. You might be feeling a lot. I'm hearing, how can you invite more allowance to that process? I'm hearing, how can you let go of judgment of others that are in that process? I'm hearing, whenever we get frustrated with others that have like a lot of emotion, that should be a good indication to us that we're resisting some of our own emotion. So if you've ever sensed like getting irritated with people for having emotions, I'm sure we've all been there, at least a time or two in life, then this is the message to say, let's let everyone go through their own process. If someone is going through heavy emotions near you, check to see if you can withstand that See, do I have it within me to hold space for this person? And if you do, then hold the space. But if you don't and you need to have a little bit of distance, take a little distance, refresh yourself, recover, reintegrate your energies. Because this is like another line that my guides channeled through me, and I like questioned it. They said like in the month of December to be a little bit more selfish. And I was like, what? That doesn't make sense to me. But they showed me the reason that that was coming through is because we're moving into this new paradigm, and the old paradigm really, the people that were feeling in the old paradigm, and a lot of you were these people, are these people, in the old paradigm, the people that are the feelers, those were like the way showers. Those were the people that were like moving into something that the rest of the world wasn't necessarily ready to move into yet. So, have grace. I think the message here is have grace with others to teach you how to have grace with yourself. That's what's coming through. Because it feels like when I'm seeing all of your energies, there's 35 of you here, and I'm seeing a lot of you in the future. Very empathic souls. Very empathic souls. So if that resonates with you, if you feel like, yeah, I'm definitely empathic, I feel everything. Same. But also give yourself the gift this month. Let's say gifts aren't your thing, materialism isn't your thing. Okay? Let's just say none of that's your thing. Same. I don't really care about materials that much, like at all. But the gift we can give ourselves this month, if we want to give ourselves a big whopping gift this month, it's to have self-compassion and grace and to let ourselves feel our feelings. That's the gift we can give ourselves this month. Let yourself move through these things. You're probably moving through them for the last time. So much timeline clearing, so much Akashic clearing, so much galactic Akashic clearing. We're going to be experiencing something brand new. In 6 months from now, when we sit together, it's going to be an entirely different experience of life. Entirely different experience. You're going to have a different reaction to things. You're going to have a different response to things. You're going to, we're all shifting, and we're shifting quick. Plenty of grace. We got to bring the grace. And again, for ourselves. We got to learn how to give it to ourselves. I'm excited too. I really can't wait for December 19th to see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen when these two are so close to us. We'll see. We don't know. We're just going to wait and see. Stepping stones. Thank you for the gifts. Stepping stones. Number 6, take the next step. Let go of the old paradigm. Oh my goodness. So you can see these cards are kind of explaining the things that I just went over. Okay, I'm being shown a Advent calendar. Only this... Okay, so my guides are showing me an Advent calendar. Go with me. And they're showing me each of these Advent calendar doors are opening, but what's inside the Advent calendar door isn't a piece of chocolate. It's a sunset and a sunrise. So they're saying you want to feel like a kid again? You want to feel like that innocence, that wonder, that magic, that beauty of being alive, that depth of experience, that connective experience. Challenge yourself to at least glance at every sunrise and every sunset. That's the message from the guides. That's how we're going to do these stepping stones. And they're also showing me too that we're going to get more northern lights. We're going to get more aurora borealis pretty far down south. I'm even seeing to Mexico. Maybe even in 2 days. Wow, okay. So we just got a X, I think it's 1.9 flare from the sun. It's pretty powerful. It's pretty earth direct too. Feels like in 2 days we're probably going to get it again at night, where you look up and you see those beautiful magical waving lights that change you and shift you and return you to majesty. So those of you that are space weather nerds like me and you just find this stuff fascinating, pay attention to the NOAA space weather and see when they're predicting, although the last time they were really wrong. So maybe just if you're up at night, look to the skies every night. Because we're going to get more of those. So yay! Whee! Okay. Goat. I love it. I've been seeing goats like crazy, and it's one of the cards that popped out that I didn't see yet. So act from your innate wisdom. Archangel Perlimiac and Pan, God of Nature. Been frustrated with yourself because I know I need to connect more with spirit. You're always connected to spirit. You are always, each and every single one of you, even the guy that came in here and was a jerk, even the people that come in here and they're mean and nasty, everyone is connected to spirit, okay? We are all connected to spirit. And yes, the goat with the Capricorn energy. So moving from Sagittarius to Capricorn energy, it's a pretty big shift. Sagittarius is like so full, so fiery, so zesty, so multifaceted. And then Capricorn kind of comes in with the structure. Capricorn kind of comes in with the shaping and the grounding and the earth energy. So I mentioned a channeling book that helped me. I read it like 4 or 5 years ago, but it's called Opening to Channel. I mentioned it in yesterday's December energy update. But when it comes to channeling, just channel your higher self. Just channel your higher self every day from your heart. That's my guidance. Channel from your heart your higher self every day. Maybe get a camera out, make little videos for yourself. You're probably going to want to start out channeling with your eyes closed. But you can even do something like, for those of you that are, it feels like I'm being guided to talk to the channels or the people that are opening their channel. Maybe take 5 or 10 minutes every single day. Pick your modality. I mean, for some of you, it's going to be voice. For some of you, it's going to be written. For some of you, it's going to be different things. But you can ask yourself the following questions. You can ask things like, what is my purpose here on earth? You can ask things like, for some of you, you don't know what your highest excitement is. This is what I'm hearing. If you don't know what your highest excitement in life is right now, or the thing that's really sparking you and activating that God spark, we're talking about spirit here, God spark within you, God spark within you, God spark within you. We all have this God spark within us, okay? But some of us, the ego did some hijacking. So some of us, the ego took over. If that's the case for you, go within that heart and say, what is my highest excitement today? And then whatever that is, do it for like a week. Do a week of that. If you feel like out of touch with your happiness, your joy, your excitement, what lights you up, your spark, that's my guidance. Is to go within your heart, ask yourself that question, and whatever comes out, do it. given that it's something that's not going to hurt anyone or be, it should be something healthy. If it's like, hey, go do crack, go do crack. Okay. It's a really random example, but that's a good example because if you feel out of touch with your higher self, it's going to be a refamiliarization process. A familiarization process. Let me see if I got everything from the goats. I just want to show the art because it's really good. What I'm noticing about the art in particular is that like the adult goat is just like very zen.com, It's just like chilling. It's just like, this is my life and I love it and it's fine and everything's great. And then the little goat is like, what is the world? The little goat's like, what's that? What's that? Is that a butterfly? Is that a squirrel? Okay. So it's kind of highlighting here why it's important to get back into that inner child. Because within that inner child is our curiosity. So the adult might be a little bit like, yeah, I've seen everything there is to be seen. This is everything there is, and I know that this is all there is. That's it. This is all there is. And then there's the young goat that's like, no, there's more. Let's explore. So let's blend our inner adult goat. That's kind of like, yeah, whatever. Let's blend our adult goat with our child goat that's like, let's go play and, I don't know, jump on people's backs while they're doing yoga. Okay. And then the last card we got is rat. And if you want to do work like I'm doing, then do it. Be true to yourself and the universe will reward you. Archangel Gabriel and Zadkiel. Such a precious. This is so interesting because I just watched Stefan Byrne's latest video, and he talks about the most grounded animals on the planet and mammals on the planet, and he talks about these bald rats that like live longer than all the rest of the rats because they're so grounded. I don't know why that's coming in here. But grounding is important. And I also want to read this because I feel like I don't really know this rat message. I'm not super familiar with the rats, you know what I'm saying? I had a couple mouses in my house, but... Okay, so I'm going to read this rat message because I don't really exactly know why my guys are just telling me to, so I'm doing it. Okay. How's everyone feeling? Everyone all right? Everyone's all right, right? Everyone's okay? You feel good today. Okay. Your reception is bad today. It'll be in my energy healing membership for sure, which you can try a week free. They're so smart. They're the dogs of the rodent family. Yeah, I resonate with that. I hear that. Okay, so be true to yourself and the universe will reward you. I want to say it again. Be true to yourself and the universe will reward you. Okay, now we're going to read the message. The message. Okay. Who's ready? Take some of this. All right, let's go. Rats are highly evolved and intelligent creatures. Kai called it out before it even was read. With big hearts, and they originate on Neptune. Interesting. Okay. And Neptune, the tuner of the solar system. Interesting. They offered to undertake a sacred mission on Earth to consume sewage and the garbage here, as well as psychic rubbish. I say rubbish a lot around it. They worked well until humans created so much waste and negativity that rats could no longer transmute it all. Wow. Although more rodents arrived to help, they were in overload and developed disease. Humans started to persecute them. Now rats live in fear, so they can no longer transform and purify our debris into love. Recently, new elements have arrived from another universe to help consume. Wow, this is strong for 3i Atlas and Swan, guys. To help consume and clear waste on land and in the water. But it's time for humans to take responsibility for the rubbish we leave, both physical and emotional. So let's not create any more emotional rubbish. Okay? Well cared for pet rats are very clever and much loved. They are holding the true vision of the rat's noble mission. And then the guidance from the card. Oh, my arm is twitching. It's weird. Okay. The rat card reminds you that when you are acting with the best and noblest intentions, you might be misunderstood. In extreme cases, you may even be persecuted. There will always be those who want to put out the light of others. We all see that here, don't we? Your guidance is to let no one diminish you. Instead, remain true to your pure purpose and hold your vision like a bright flame. Do your best at all times and only take on that which you can handle. They're like showing me this like in bold off the page. Only take on that which you can handle. Some of you are taking on more than you can handle. Okay. Check internally that you are taking responsibility for your actions, then relax. And know that your life mission will eventually be recognized and you will receive your just reward. So it almost feels like Swan, the comet Swan, is kind of acting like the rats for the earth, cleaning up our garbage. That's what I'm getting. It's garbage day for me here today in this house, so it's a kind of fun little synchronicity. But, yep. Let these interstellar objects assist us. And then amateur astronomers. Do I have any here? Do I have any amateur astronomers? Or maybe you just call yourself an astronomer. Keep exploring the skies. Keep stargazing. There's going to be some very wonderful things to see. And we're not going to leave it to any of these government structures to show us. We can see for ourselves. Okay? We don't need to wait for them to tell us what's going on. They don't even know where their heads are. We can take this into our own hands. Eric's been seeing them for the past 3 years. That's a deep soul calling. It's a deep soul calling. I'm just seeing for those of you that are capturing any of this, are you sharing it? if you can, I would encourage you to. I would encourage you to. Beautiful. Feels like Spirit maybe wanted to have us have this conversation today, Eric. Because it's important. It's important. It's also, what I'm seeing is that it's going to bind people together. People are going to find, it's a passion area. It's a passion area. It lights up the highest excitement. It's also a way of taking the power into our own hands and just saying, you know what, I can tell at this point in my earth journey that I'm not going to be told the truth, okay, by these parties that, as a young one maybe, I expected to have tell me the truth. It's probably not going to happen, okay? These leadership figures, they don't trust us. I hate to say it, but that's where we're at, okay? That is where we are at. They do not trust us with this information. So it's going to be up to us. It's not for everyone. No, it's going to be for the souls that find it invigorating. It's going to be for the souls that enjoy it. I don't know. Okay, I think we got all the messages from the pre-selected cards. I'm just seeing, it feels like my guides are feeding in one more message. They're showing me the divine child. I want me to show this goat card. Hold on one second. They're showing me that, like, this goat card, they're showing me that a lot of us would be really benefited to maybe in this month of December shift from this like adult perspective of like, yeah, here we go again, more holidays, and kind of like, you know, the part of us that's just like rolling our eyes and just like same old, nothing is new, nothing exciting, everything is done, and kind of like dull. They're showing me in the month of December, if we can try to shift our state a little bit from that to, man, it is hard to do this when it's mirrored. Okay, to this, to like, wait, what's this? Wait, what's over here? Wait, what if I try that? Wait, what if we go play? Wait, what if I go and I'm coloring, you know? So they're telling us in the month of December it's going to be really helpful to start navigating these emotions in a more intelligent way, to lean into our curiosity. I'm glad you're all finding people here together. That's so beautiful. What I'm sensing in the Akashic Records about this childlike embodiment or inner child embodiment is ego chatter. So I'm hearing the ego going like rolling the eyes kind of thing, where the ego is like, no, we created a rule when we were 12 that says we're not allowed to just do things for fun. For a lot of you, it was the age of 12. So some of you might want to do some exploration and see, like, what was my 12th year like? Because I'm seeing that when they're saying me too, they're saying all of us at the age of 12, we started to shut down our curiosity faculties and our play faculties. So we're going to wake those back up this month. It is collective. Your 12th year is rough. So any age of you that you find and you're like, whoa, that was the year I changed. That was the year that hurt. That was the year that messed me up. That was the year that everything went haywire. That was the year that I started losing my mojo. Or that was the year I started losing my spark. That was the year I started creating the programming that I'm not allowed to have fun. I'm not allowed to enjoy. I'm not allowed to play. I'm not allowed to be free. I'm not allowed to ba 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 ba. have a little meditation session, and just within your consciousness, just imagine yourself sitting with that version of you and have a little dialogue. This is a healing process called parts work that any of you can do on your own. And just have a little dialogue. How are you feeling? Are you okay? Do you need anything? Okay? And then that version of you will start to wake back up, and you'll integrate that soul fragment. So we talk a lot about soul fragments. This is a pretty on the ground way to explain how it works. You are basically creating a relationship healing with the you that is now and the you that was then. Okay, I think this reading is coming to a close. So I promised I would ask you guys if you had any questions, and I'm a woman of my word. So does anyone have any questions? If I can't answer, I'll just tell you. I'll never be the one to just make up something if I don't know the answer. But does anyone have any questions based on the reading, based on the emotional body, anything coming up? Any questions at all? Some of you, if you did bring that pen and paper, you might want to write that note to do that little meditation with the whatever age. Maybe it was the 12-year-old age. I'm new to all this, but extremely curious. Beautiful. Curiosity is a great place to be. You feel stuck. Remember, you're not stuck, but you may feel stuck. Is our guardian angel just ourselves? Not quite. Not quite. While for some of us that may be a truth, let's say we share an oversoul with our guardian angel, that's possible. Okay, but again, my guides have always told me, it's not your future self. No. It's a spirit. It's a guide. It's a guide that you choose to come down to the earth plane with, and they stay with you no matter what. I might put this on YouTube. I'm still not really sure. I was going to just put it in the Energy Healing membership, but you know what? I'll probably put it on YouTube. Y'all know me. I'm a loving, giving soul. And we had a smaller group today because I didn't announce it or plan it or anything like that. I'm just doing a little bit of, looks like they're clearing in the lungs and the chest area. Chest area. Grief. I'm hearing stuck grief. Why do I feel like my family doesn't want me to have friends? Is it up to them? That's my response to that. Is it up to them? They don't get to make your choices. You do. And if they're judging or they're whatever they're doing, maybe they're protective of you, something like that, that's okay. Try to let it go. Try to let them have their perceptions while you do what your heart is telling you and where your heart is guiding you. Are you supposed to be single right now or stay in a relationship? That's never a question I'll answer. I would never steal your sovereignty like that. I would have you ask that question to yourself in your heart. When I'm releasing pain from ancestors past, do they relive shame or pain? No, they absolutely do not. No, they do not. If those ancestors are in spirit, absolutely not. If those ancestors are maybe embodied in a certain state or somewhere, let's say, they won't feel it, no. Karma's real, but we just don't really understand it that well on planet Earth as humans. But it's real. It's natural. Karma's natural. It's the natural flow of the universe. It's natural. I would also never encourage any of you to do the whole return to sender type thing. That's not my bag. If you're collecting up something and it's like of pain and torture and anguish and blah, like all the crap stuff that we don't want to experience on planet Earth, send it back to source. Send it back to source. Okay, don't recreate. What I'm seeing is shame and guilt loops. So shame and guilt are loop energies. They keep you stuck. They do not serve you. They are of distortion. I wouldn't say karma is guilt not resolved. No. Karma is neutral. We just see it as a negative or a positive all the time. But karma, this is from my guides. I don't really quite understand what they're saying, but they're saying karma in itself is neutral, and it just is. We're best off to see that karma just is. We're not trying to reshape karma. That's not really our bag. I've been crying a lot because I did a huge clearing yesterday by myself about past lives. Surface and subside, surface and subside, surface and subside. Whenever we're dealing with past lives, we need to be very, very delicate because and Jen, it feels like they're talking to you maybe. Sometimes you're not experiencing a past life. You're experiencing or witnessing an ancestor. You could be experiencing or witnessing something that you were a part of, but it's not actually you, if this makes sense. So a lot of people will come and say, like, I was Jesus or I was Mary Magdalene. Like, no, you weren't. No, you weren't. Sorry, I know that was a little harsh, but some people really need to hear that sometimes. I recognize that I need to give myself more space for me. And this is what my guides are saying about past lives right now, and they're saying Dolores Cannon like really tuned into this and got this. But again, it's like the karma thing. It's like everything just has a natural, universal way of working itself out. Some of you have the perception that you have to dig into those past lives to figure out why you're experiencing pain in this life, and that's a slightly distorted way to go about it. You're visiting the past lives. What my guides are saying right now is that this is not a good time actually for that. That's what they're saying. They're saying right now it's not actually super beneficial or helpful for you because we have 3i Atlas and the Swan comment, because they're here and they're, from the 13th realm, I'm going to say right here, they're handling a lot for us. So it's kind of like my guides are just showing me that for us to put ourselves through like the past life regressions and the pain, like the rehashing the pain, it is not where we would guide you at this time on planet Earth. It is not where we would guide you. There are times that are conducive to that, and there are times that it's a loop. So if you were to do it, they talked about this yesterday in the update too, for those of you that didn't get it, go on my YouTube, commercial free. They showed us a triangle. I'm going to just reiterate it here. They showed us a triangle, and they showed me that like the emotional body and the physical body are like the bottom of the triangle, and the mind is the top. I don't think it's that beneficial to look at past lives. I'm going to be honest with all of you. That's why we go to the Akashic records in the 7th plane. Because we don't want you just looking at all the past lives on this linear timeline. Your soul is multidimensional. And we're dealing with a major timeline convergence right now, which means they're showing me crossed lines. They're showing me like all the lines are getting crossed. So if you were to try to go in right now, they're showing me this like over and over again. They're showing me if you try to go do past life regression right now, it's part of the reason they're showing me right now, this is part of the reason why I have my sessions paused. They're showing me if we try to do past life regression right now, it will be crossed. The wires will be crossed, is what they're telling me. So you might be tuning into something, but because all of these timelines are converging, you might not be seeing something that is even for you. It could be someone else's. It could be someone else's issue. And then you feel like it's yours, and it's not. I hope this helps. Yeah, there's a big, huge shift coming, and it's probably later this month. Now, I feel like if you wanted to do a deep process like this, let's say like Atlantis or Lemuria or something are like peaking you, you might want to just like do a meditation, a Lemurian meditation or an Atlantean meditation. But I wouldn't be, whenever we do this thing where we're like, I was this person, or I was this person, or I was da da da, then we start to do the mind thing of story. And that doesn't help us. It doesn't help us. I hope that answered the question. And I also just want you all to go with your intuition. This is how I am tuning in, but you might be tuning in different, and that's you. Each one of you is the one to know what's best for you. I want to be really super, super clear about that. So let's say like you ask me a question and I answer with something that's like opposite of you, then it's not for you. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. I just liked my own live. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy. I also, Brandy, I don't know why I'm saying this, but I wouldn't encourage you to do past life investigation in your sleep either. You're in those delta brainwaves when you're in your sleep, and you're getting to aspects of your soul that are so, what they're showing me is that the conscious and the unconscious are like, they require different things. So when you're in the unconscious or the delta brainwaves and sleeping, your soul's in charge, you're astral traveling, you're doing a lot of stuff. I wouldn't encourage you to use that space for past life regression because, again, it's going to be the cross signals thing. You won't know technically what's yours and what's someone else's. So you could experience something and go, oh my gosh, that terrible thing happened to me. It might not have even been you. So, just be delicate with these types of things. Because there's a lot of stuff out there that's pretty messed up. And it's even shamanic stuff. If you go down these shamanic paths, some of them are outdated, is what I'm going to say. Some of these shamanic paths are expired, is the best way I can say this. So there's a way that shamans were operating in ancient times on the earth plane, and the way that shamans are operating on the earth plane now. Like, for example, I carry this quality, this shamanic quality, but it's different now than it was, let's say, 5,000 years ago, or maybe 300,000 years ago, if some of you are remembering Lemuria. So it's very, very different. And it's, again, it's the signals crossed. The signals crossed thing. And if the past life regression is to feel comfort, it's probably being used for escapism. So sometimes we go to the channeling or the past life regression to escape our everyday life issues. I would encourage you to address your day-to-day. Get your day-to-day down, or at least in flow, or set up before you venture to the past life stuff. Melanie, that's actually not true. But, okay, I'm not really using it. So as a past life regressioner, you're in your higher self, but the clients you serve, and Melanie, it feels like we keep crossing hairs because it feels like your spirit guides want you to move away from some of this. It's like not helping you. I don't like to be the person in your life, but past life regression is going to do more harm than good right now. It will. It will cause a reactivation of trauma. trauma that is being cleared for us by the divine. So it's never necessary for you to reactivate or re-experience any trauma. Not necessary. Not necessary at all. I'm glad you're moving away from it, because that's exactly what the controllers in this world are going to use in the next few years to continue to manipulate, is past life regression. This is lifetime coming in, so this is one of the tactics that those controllers are going to try to use to make you feel like you are worthless. And you're not. Yeah, the Lemurian meditation's totally fine, totally good. It's just the guides are being like, in my consciousness, they're like kind of standing really stern, and they're saying a lot of people right now are using channeling and past life regression improperly. They're saying that when someone decides to go get a past life regression, they're usually going to get the past life regression based on story, is what they're telling me. And they're saying when we go to do a past life regression based on story, it's the same thing as like, okay, if you're to ask someone a question just from curiosity, you're going to have a productive conversation, right? It's going to be a good conversation. But if you go and you ask someone a question and you only want one answer, okay, which is most of the people that probably are going to get past life regressions, they want a story to describe why they're suffering most of the time. If we go into anything from that storied path, we're just going to loop. Again. But if we can go into things with curiosity and I just want to explore this, I'm curious, I really want to just explore this, that's a different energy. But what they're showing me is that most of the people, again, that are doing past life regressions right now are doing it just because they want to make sense of why they are suffering. And what those individuals, very same individuals actually need is self-love and self-acceptance. So for them to have remove themselves from their everyday life and go visit something that they perceive as being already done, it doesn't help them. They're just showing me that right now, people that are doing past life regression are re-traumatizing themselves. Lower energies, to me, look chaotic, tangly, chaotic and tangly. The higher I look, the more unified, the more harmonized, the more streamlined, the more divine. Lower energies are, again, chaotic. They're chaotic. You're not going to get very far with those lower density, those lower frequencies. They're in their own process. You just won't resonate. You won't resonate. So if something comes in and it's like a way lower frequency than you, you're going to instantly be like, no, because doesn't resonate with me. Yep, and that's it. Other than one card, which they want me to pull. This 1, 2. So, whale teaching. Do my guides say that the world will be definitely aware of aliens within 6 months? It's an individual game right now, Kai. It's people are coming to their own disclosures individually. we're probably looking at 2027, 2028 for collective recognition. But we're on the way. We're on the way. I wouldn't expect governments to do anything like that next year. I think they're still in the kind of hiding pattern that they've been in for quite a while. They don't want us to know certain things. That's okay. That's why we're kind of taking the power back. Okay? And whale teaching, depth of experience and healing, teacher and mentor share wisdom. So we talked a lot about like going off and doing your own little meditations today. You want a great place to go meditate with the whales. Oh, be right back. Meditations today. You want a great place to go meditate with the whales. Oh, be right back. I'm back, but briefly. So that last piece, in case it got skipped up or whatever it does at the end of these, meditating with the whales, great guidance. The whales are such great teachers. They are, is this right? Yeah. My favorite mentors and teachers are the ones that will just be with you. And the whales definitely do that. They're not telling you to be any different. They're not doing what I was doing today, saying, guys, watch it with the past life regression. That's my human role. Okay, but the whale's role is going to be to activate your inner wisdom, as well as activate self-acceptance and this realization that you're a bridge from spirit into matter. They're going to help you realize that and make peace with it. So if we go in from the human perspective, like I was doing with the past life regression, and we're like, accept yourself, love yourself. Probably not going to work, right? But if you've got a whale sitting there and just like looking at you, avatar consciousness. Olivia, you're pretty advanced. I like that. So yes, this avatar consciousness really taps you into omnipresence, because what it helps you with is realizing, wait a second, I'm not this body. I'm in this game, but I'm not this game. I'm in the earth, but I'm not of the earth. That's what that kind of thing really helps us with. It's also a layering body of our oversoul that we'll eventually take our conscious perspective into. And we can take our conscious, so that's what we're doing with avatar consciousness, is we're taking our conscious focal point, bringing it up to that avatar consciousness, and then it connects through the body. So that's why that's how we do the Akashic records. Yes, we're here in the body, but our consciousness, our focal point, where we're plugging in, is in the Akashic records of the seventh plane. At least that's how I do it. I think that's it for today. I hope that you all enjoyed this. It was unexpected, but I think that we got a lot done today, and I think that we moved through a lot today. Keep your eyes to the skies. Keep your discernment on. Thank you, Elizabeth. I'm glad you were here. And thank you, Soul Riser. Soul Riser, I couldn't answer all of your questions, but I tried my best. Keep your head in the clouds, Anko says. I like that too. If you're going to deal with a bunch of 3D friction and fights and stuff that just ends up in a loop, or have your head in the clouds, I'd say have your head in the clouds. And closed-eyed meditations as often as you can, guys. As often as you can. And know a little goes a long way. You know, maybe you're somewhere, you're out, and you're like waiting for something. Maybe you just drop those eyes shut and just calm the system. Just calm the system. Maybe you're feeling like, oh, I can't do this. I'm just a human. Oh, I don't know. Call on your guides. Close your eyes, call on your guides. Help them remind you of your power. Help them remind you of how lovable you are. That's what the guides really help us do, is realize, oh wait, I'm love. I came here to embody love. I came here to embody my authentic soul frequency. I came here to hold this frequency. That's why I'm here. Ooh, and all the cards just fell. So let's just do a reiteration at the end, because it feels needed. Well, teaching. We had the rat. We had the swan. Keeping our vibrations high. Peaches, you will. Allow there with you. Goat. Stepping stones. Fire and water. Remembering to be nurturing with ourselves and our emotions. We're allowed to feel. We're allowed to feel. Okay? We're allowed to feel. All right? Everyone needs to really hear that from a soul that they maybe see as a soul family person. You're allowed to feel. Okay? Sacred mountain. Well of dreams, reminding us to love sleep again. Let's fall in love with our sleep time again. It's a beautiful space. It's exciting. We get to explore. Maybe in the morning we remember something and it really helps us with our day. That's beautiful, Peaches. And then the first one was the Divine Soul Blueprint. So that's it. Please, everyone, be sure to hydrate, because even though this was more of a conscious on-the-ground channeling, the guides work through the field. So when we're plugging into this internet space, it's like you're plugging into a field, a biofield, a unified field of consciousness. All right, let's take a deep breath together. Hold, and release. And namaste.